Clea is our only character that actually crosses over between the Mystic and Villain affiliation. First we have Clea, Flames of Regency. While Clea is active, once per turn, whenever you could use a global ability, you may pay Bolt to deal 3 damage to target non-Mystic character die. Clea, Faltine Blood. While Clea is active, your other Mystic character dice cost 1 less to field to a minimum of 1. And Clea, Dark Sorceress. When fielded, KO opposing level 1 character die or KO target Mystic character die. I think Clea, Flames of Regency is probably one of the more interesting of the 3 of these. Being able to just pay Bolt at global speed to deal 3 damage to a target non-Mystic character die, that gives you a lot of versatility. So this is something where you could take out a Bard before he can declare his attack. This would take out a Serena on all of her faces before they can attack. You could do this to damage, if you have a Babs, you're going to knock out your own Babs, but you can knock out your Babs. It's a way of dealing damage, which is one-sided, and not giving like a magic missile or something to your opponent, but still being able to trigger your Babs or your Hulk Green Goliath. The only thing is, so it's a lot of damage if you're trying to target your own guys. And of course, she also has the problem of a pretty high purchase cost and a pretty high fielding cost. But speaking of fielding costs, that's one way Faltine Blood comes into play, where a lot of the Mystic characters have some pretty high fielding costs. Anything to lower those could help a lot, but of course, I don't know how many Mystic characters you're going to be able to buy because they all tend to be a little expensive. And of course, Clea, Dark Sorceress, the 7-cost villain. She is a source of removal, and anytime you have removal, that could be useful. It's a little narrow scoped with it having to be a level 1 character die or a Mystic character, so that makes me lean towards the other 2 quite a bit more. And now we have the Mindless Ones, cheap fist characters that do provide a bit of a punch here. So first we have Mindless One, Dark Dimension. When fielded, Mindless One deals you 1 damage. Then Mindless One, Stare into Your Soul, just has Regenerate, 3-cost fist. And then lastly we have Mindless One's Unseeing Gaze, which has Swarm. For those who know me, I'm like Pavlov's dog. When I see Swarm, I start drooling. But I'm going to take a step back and realize that I actually am not that excited about the Mindless One. He does do a lot of damage, but for a 3-cost fist, I actually think I would prefer to use the Rare Goblin from Faerun Under Siege. He's still very cool though, I do like him, and if I was going to do a villain team, I would very likely favor the Mindless One over using the Foot Soldier from Ninja Turtles. It is interesting, the Mindless One Dark Dimension, I realize that is a drawback of dealing you 1 damage. This drawback can easily be capitalized on, though, by teams playing Vicious Struggle, or with Hulk, Jade Giant, or Green Goliath. You could field the Mindless Ones and trigger Hulk, so it sort of becomes a one-field removal effect, even though you do still take 1 damage. It's still a neat way to get around that supposed drawback. And of course, the Mindless Ones with Regenerate, having the low defense that it has, Regenerate's pretty nice on there. So you could just sort of throw them against the wall, hope they keep on coming back. Of these 3, I am actually most likely use the Swarm one, but I still think I like if I was going to do a 3-cost Swarm, like as we know, 3-cost Swarm has not been that big so far. I would very likely go with the Rare Goblin instead of this one, but he is still one heck of a heavy hitter, so it might not be too bad. Hard choice to make there.